Number 3, what am I going to say no to? This is the hardest for me because I want to say yes to everything, but it's important to remember that seminary is a season, and in order for it to be successful, saying yes to seminary means saying no to other things. For me, that means certain ministry opportunities at church had to be put on hold. It also meant pursuing a full-time career was put on hold too. Some semesters it meant saying no to some of the classes I wanted to take because I knew it would be better for my family and my mental health to do fewer classes. You can't say yes to everything, so it's important to decide before you get into the situation what you're going to say no to. And the last question you need to ask yourself, who do I have to cheer me on? I told you that after a minute or so, my son was completely exhausted and couldn't keep running, but I have to finish the story for you. My little boy was so deflated that he couldn't keep up with the pack, but his dad was running with him. So even though my son felt defeated, his dad was right there with him, reminding him that he could keep going. Even if he was walking, he could still finish. He didn't have to give up. So my husband walked with him that entire mile, and then on the last stretch, he encouraged my son to run the rest. We all cheered him on, and he ran with those little legs all the way to the finish line. I was so proud of him, and he was so proud of himself when he finished. I see a lot of students drop out of seminary, and I often wonder to myself, would it have been different for them if they'd surrounded themselves with cheerleaders to help them on their journey? If I'm honest, every semester, sometimes I have to ask myself, am I cut out for this? But my biggest cheerleader is my husband, and he reminds me of my calling, that I can't not do this. And if it weren't for us cheering each other on, I don't know if we would have made it so far. So the last question you need to ask is, who are you going to surround yourself with on this journey to cheer you on? It may be a spouse, it may be friends, or a pastor or a mentor, but it's important that you have those people in place before you begin so that when you're ready to quit, they can come alongside you and remind you why you're doing what you're doing. So there you have it. There's some questions that you should ask yourself before you begin seminary, because seminary is a marathon, it's not a sprint.